Jackson Radio Show.
Look, America live inside the mainstream media and they're giant, incestuous, almost like bubble. Well, then you might have seen that the economy under President Trump is on an absolute tear. This is good news for forgotten men and women in this country. Take a look at these numbers. Dow Jones now soared today to over 25,000, its highest number ever. The job market continues to boom. ADP reporting today 250,000 new jobs created in December alone, which is the most in 9 months for that survey. And take a look at this headline. Job cut announcements in 2017 see the lowest level since 1990, Challenger report says. And here's another headline. Manufacturing in the U.S. just accelerated to its best year since 2004. And earlier today, the president is moving to now open up offshore drilling. That's right, off the coast, both coasts, and in the Gulf, which is vital to America becoming energy independent, the lifeblood of our economy. And that's just only some of the good news from this week alone. Unemployment, a 17-year low, 4.1%. Under President Trump, before the 250,000 jobs, 1.7 million jobs were created. That's now 2 million jobs. African-American unemployment in America is now at a 17-year low. Food stamp use is at a 7-year low. 2 million fewer people using food stamps now under President Trump in 1 year. Home prices are up 6%. The Trump administration has now taken a chainsaw to burdensome regulation from our government. And for every new one they created, in terms of regulation, 16 have been slashed and cut away. There's GDP so far. We have seen 2 quarters of over 3% growth. And remember, Barack Obama, the only president in the history of this country to never reach 3% GDP growth for an entire year. Now, here's what the media will never tell you. Well, there's a night and day difference between the economy just a year ago and now under Donald Trump for 1 year. And under Obama's economy, I'll remind you, it was god-awful. Lowest labor participation rate since the 70s. 95 million Americans out of the labor force. The worst economic recovery since the 40s. The lowest home ownership rate in 51 years. 13 million more Americans on food stamps. 8 million more in poverty. 43 million total living in poverty under Obama in just 1 year. The economy is now turning around, and that's before the $1.5 trillion historic tax cut even had a chance to take effect.
Holy Toledo. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. What a litany of accomplishments. And that brings me back to what I was talking about, this conundrum of the left. And here's the reason why. I want you to thank yourself for exercising patience. Could we have speeded things up a bit? Perhaps, but we wouldn't have candidate Donald Trump turned president Donald Trump in the most crazy circumstances, in a time when he shouldn't have won. And everybody was telling us the dude was unfit. He was unhinged. Don't give him access to the nuclear button. And what's funny is, leading up to the president, to the Republican nomination, they didn't say that about Donald Trump. You remember? They were very Donald Trump, he's a viable candidate. Donald Trump, they wanted Donald Trump. You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, I'm not making this up. I remember the polling where Hillary Clinton and those people were like, these Ted Cruz and all these people, Donald Trump's the guy that we think would be the toughest guy to beat. And they were telling you their fear by there's a part of me that believes that they really, felt like he was the guy to beat. But what was funny, once they sort of made it to where he was the front runner, you could feel the fear of the left. It was like they went from this confidence of, let's get Trump because he's got all this baggage and he's a loose cannon. We'll be able to beat him, man. He's got so much. And then they got him, and then suddenly Trump didn't change. And they were like, uh-oh. So he was unhinged. At that point, look at how crazy he is. He doesn't act presidential. So this he's written this book. His name is Michael Wolff, Fire and Fury. Everybody was talking about this cat over the weekend. I mean, it was during the last week, actually. They were talking about the book, Fire and Fury. This is where all the Steve Bannon stuff came to be, right? Oh, yeah, Steve Bannon said some negative things about Donald Trump, and then Bannon, oh, no, I really respect the president. Well, that's a whole other story. Steve Bannon's in big trouble. But I'm going to talk about that down the road. But in his book, Michael Wolff portrays Trump as stupid. And he claims Trump didn't want to be president and he's unfit for office. Now, let me just tell you what's going on here. The left is trying to sell a narrative. They've now said, oh, Bannon, he said the same things. Michael Wolff is saying it, and they're promoting this book big time. President Trump's fighting the book. I just got an email from friends with the entire book in PDF. And I wrote to my buddies, and they were like, hey, give this book away so nobody buys it. And I said to myself, that's what they want. Somebody has already bought 5 million copies of this book and said, I'll finance it. Give it away. Let these people read it because they want you reading this propaganda. And here's part of what they said in this article I was reading. It says, Wolff's portrait of Trump as a one-dimensional figure who had no conception that he could win the 2016 election. Little clue what to do after he emerged victorious from the campaign trail, and virtually no interest in or aptitude for acquiring the skills and information needed to fulfill the role of president. Here, this is a quote, here was arguably the central issue of the Trump presidency, Wolff writes. The commander-in-chief didn't process information in any conventional sense, or in a way, he didn't process it at all. That's the quote. So, just so we're clear, folks, an Ivy League graduate of Wharton School of Business, the top business school in the country, possibly the world, a man who's amassed billions of dollars across multiple industries, dealing with big cities, states, countries even, in order to do his job, and has done it successfully. A man who set his sights on the presidency, has been very clear in decades. They've gone back decades to look at Trump. And he has said the same things that he feels today. And they tell you he's an idiot. The guy who trounced Hillary Clinton. The guy who dare put his naughty bits and wriggle them sexually in the face of Barack Obama and taunt him. Teabag the man, and he wins the presidency, and they say he's an idiot. Which in effect says you're an idiot. Because most of you listening to this program voted for him, and many of you who listen to this program, you leftists, you wish you'd voted for him at this point. You won't admit it, but you're here listening for a reason, and it ain't because I'm so cute. So I wonder what he thinks of the man who beat this woman who was ordained, coronated. And we got Hillary Clinton, who sets up a crooked charity, this mafioso racketeering organization, so she can amass an ill-gotten fortune. Hillary Clinton's pedigree, up to the point of being president, was failing the bar in D.C., becoming a cut-rate attorney in Arkansas who defended, a man who raped a young girl, who rode on the coattails of her husband's career, a man for whom she has very little respect, but whom she had already attached her star to. She used her husband's connections to get her jobs, to get money for the family in these crooked dealings with commodities trading and whitewater investments and all kinds of stuff, because she worshiped the almighty dollar and power. Then she uses her husband's career to become a senator in a state where she didn't have residency. She's a junior senator who then goes on the coattails of a black ne'er-do-well by the name of Barack Obama in order to get her next stair step, which is Secretary of State, where she failed miserably. There's nothing Hillary Clinton can point to in her tenure as Secretary of State that would make you go, wow, look at how amazing she was. Everything this woman did was a failure. And I dare any of you suckers out there, you leftists, I dare you to call me and try to debate me on this issue. I will absolutely wipe the floor with your little buttocks. But this is the woman that they say was the smartest person in the world, and she deserved to be president. And leftists are unrelenting in furthering their narratives. Let me give you a couple. Here's what USA Today said of Trump. Ill-equipped to be commander-in-chief. Why? Because Trump hadn't gallivanted all over the world pretending to be important because they set up meetings with, general this or commandant that or whatever. Pfft, nonsense. James Clapper said, I really question his fitness to be in the office.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.